Hey friends, now a week or two ago we were discussing your attractive, sexy self and also working through this whole crash out situation. Before we get into this crash out thing in looking deeper into the desirable self, honey, everybody has insecurities. These can be insecurities from the past. These can be insecurities of now because a person is not satisfied with how they look or how they feel. So do not feel like you are the only person with insecurities. Even with the little incident that I had the other week, I was a smidge bit insecure coming on here because my face was swollen. But my spirit was like, ain't nobody got time for what your face looking like. If you have the ability to be able to talk, just go ahead and deliver this message, because this is what we're on, is about this mission. But the insecurity friend part. The insecurity is to not have us look at a thing like, oh, we're such this, or we're too much of this, or we're not good enough for someone else. No, friend, this insecurity issue is to help us to also be more empathetic of others, other people's weaknesses, their insecurities, however it is that they're feeling, because this is what makes us more attractive. So, when we are looking at our insecurities, I also would like for us to look at our traumas, because that's where a lot of this hatred and this not liking others come from. So whether you are a part of the incel culture or whatever culture that's right now feeling isolated, feeling like no one wants you, and you're feeling undesirable, honey, this is for us. I mean, we're here. This is about the love, because the first way that we go about actually attracting others is being more attractive. And the way of being more attractive, babe, you don't want to attract that hate. You don't want to attract that hate. We want to attract the love. So we go about now using this isolation, instead of building a collective of hatred up in there. Now use this isolation time to make you more attractive and desirable. Friend, when you change how you're looking at this, I promise you, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. So even like right now, how I'm looking right now, I didn't beat my face, put on all that makeup and do my hair, because let me tell you something. Beauty requires work. It requires work. So whether you are looking at this beauty on the inside or the outside, honey, you better work, because that's the only way you're going to be able to achieve it. But we're doing this deeper than just the surface, because you want to be beautiful inside and out. Because even when you looking like how I'm looking right now, and even though I did a little bit of something, it's about that love radiating through. Because I can show you better than I can tell you. So back on this face beating thing, and that which is connected with the crash out a little bit, but not really. So when we are attracted to this outer thing, whether it's the muscle that we are attracted to or the glam, it takes work. Possibly even takes money. It takes discipline. So if you are attracted to that, honey, you got to be willing to put that effort within yourself. But this is going deeper than the surface. So I have this book, which I'm not really going to quote much from it, but if you're interested in looking into it, it's called Getting Naked: 5 Steps to Finding the Love of Your Life. I've just glimpsed through it. It said as far as in being totally clothed and totally sober. But friend, I'm just taking a smidgen from this. This is by Harlan Cohen. I'm taking a smidge from this because this is connected to what we accept and what we reject. So, a friend, I encourage you to get a journal, because it's connected with crash out. And I encourage you to get a journal, because a journal allows you to get some of the things that are inside of you out. Because a lot of times you don't know you have these things inside of you because it's just feeling on top of feeling, and it's just being layered and layered. And especially if we have issues with forgiveness, that is a cuppeth running over in all your relationships. And if you're unforgiving in one thing, you're going to be unforgiving with this, and it's a tit for tat. You go on to petty. That's not really a loving relationship. So during this time of isolation, instead of using it for scrolling, instead of using it for hating and bashing, let's spend this time and energy in getting to know yourself. What is it about you that you want to develop more of? And if you don't know what this is, honey, this is where we are spending time with ourselves. This is part of Mad Painters Getting Naked, because you got to get naked with yourself. I encourage you to physically get naked, and this is a spiritual, mental getting nakedness as well. Sometimes you got to stand in the mirror and look at that naked body. I don't care what that naked body looking like. It could be tight. It could be a whole bunch of stuff leaning over on the sides with the extra. You could just slop it up with a biscuit. That they call them love handles, so you could pick it up and handle it with care. So however your body shape or type is looking like, whatever your color is, whether it's discolored, no color, a whole bunch of color, appreciate who you are. Look in the mirror and appreciate every part of you that you are, because baby, you are made special. Even if society doesn't deem it so. Society. I didn't say it. I said it with my fingers. Sometimes we got to say stuff with our hands. So I'm using this book because it mentions a statistic about how many people are not going to like you and that are going to reject you. That's on one side. The other side is also saying how there are going to be thousands of people who are going to like you. That's one. So here it is. If you're in the house all the time, if you're hating with a hating community, that's showing that you're not taking that butt outside. You are not giving 1,000 people a chance to accept you or want to chase after you or anything if you're not making yourself available. But that's okay if we're not making ourselves available at the moment, because right now we are using this as building time. So the other part of the 1,000 desiring you, wanting you, or whatever, because this is bigger than this, but you gotta know there are people out there that want you for you, just like how you are right now, even if you don't see it. So just because Barbie, Chad, Ken, Alicia, Felicia, whoever rejected you, until you really fully understand the value that you have with them, you, one, don't truly value them, two, may not even fully see the type of person that they really are, and their rejection is your protection for God, because God is protecting you from them people, because it's more like God's rejection is your protection. So we're going to take their rejection as it's okay, but let it motivate you to get your life together, not to stunt on them, which is meaning not to show off on them, or you're just doing this to make them feel bad and to tell them no, honey, that's the wrong motivation. Again, we are coming with love. So you want to be able to be in a place where you are accepting now of the people who are desiring of you. You're willing to accept it, but this still not everybody, and this is why we want to learn value, because you can get to the place where You feel good, you look good, and still don't know your value, and you're getting everything you want and still have nothing and be miserable and feeling the same way and go right back to hating everything. And this is why we want to get a firm foundation of this love situation and getting to know ourselves. So, and giving people the permission can be difficult, which means you need to be vulnerable and open up. And this is the only part I'm getting from that book right there. It's a whole bunch of information, which I'm sure if you decide to read it, you'll gain a lot. But right now, we just gonna talk about this little bit. So we have to, this is again why I'm encouraging this isolation time, because we've already been isolated in how we feel and beating ourselves up in this rejection and whatever our traumas have been and our insecurities. We want to now open up in our alone time. Again, we're using journaling. You're using some type of creativity. If you don't know what your outlet is, take your alone time and use it wisely. Find out these things about you, because just like you're using all that time, energy, and thumb exercise to scroll, we can be finding out more about us, finding out more our tweaks, our things that trigger us. Because when we sit down and take time out and look at our childhoods and reflect on a childhood, not just we're looking back at it and, oh, so and so made me feel like this. Friend, if any of your childhood issues derive from your parents, reflect on how you're looking at this situation. Do you sound like a child talking from a child's point of view about your parents and how your parents treat you? If that answer is yes, it's okay, my friend, but it's letting you know, and it lets me know also as a person who listens to these things. My license is right there on the wall. I've been hearing that mess about that woman and that title and all that stuff. I am a counselor, but I don't use that title on here, but I do use its methods. And so, in listening to yourself and your voice in that, if it sounds like a child, it's an indication to let you know that you are looking at it from a child. And so we have to now, from an adult point of view, we've been in relationships. We've had to make decisions. There are things that we have done that we may not have liked, but we felt that that was the right decision at the time. Friend, your parents were still growing up at the time that they had you. I don't care what age that they were. They are not the same people back then that they are today, unless there has been some issues. There are a lot of things that can change them psychologically, that can change them hormonally, that can change them inwardly, that can keep them in that same spot. But we are not looking at that, because we are not looking to stay in that same spot, but now look to forgive. So crash outs, a lot of these crash outs are occurring because we have not learned to forgive and let go, which I get a lot of times that can be very hard, especially if we're not given the path to go about doing that. So here, I want you to think about music and how there are all types of music. I listen to all types of music: rock and roll, blues, jazz, gangster rap, drill rap, hip hop, all kinds, opera, all kinds of music. When it's off, it sounds off. I don't care what it is. When something sounds off, it sounds off. Now, there are people who are intrigued with music that I feel like it sounds off. But when we are connecting with people and we are listening to them, and there is an awareness of the whole vibe situation, like the energy in which people are projecting or receiving, or whatever, bringing to the table. And so when we have this, like, we're considering people in like as music, is the music sounding off? Is it throwing your music off? And looking at harmony, friend, are you able to create harmonious music within yourself? If you are having difficulty sitting alone with yourself, that's part of it. Because if you're expecting people to entertain you, if you're expecting people to do all of these things that you have difficulty providing for yourself alone, here are these crash outs. So we need to have space and time alone. We need to have heightened self-awareness, because this alone time and reflection time is what's going to help us give us heightened self-awareness, and what's going to help us see what our triggers are, have a better understanding why we respond, more like why do we react to the things that we react to, because it's emotionally touching us. It's emotionally doing something to us that has us thinking some type of way in which we're believing is right. And we feel like this is the only way that we are able to express this thing is by explosiveness. And this is a crash out type of a thing. So before we even get there while we're with someone, because friend, if we've had those crash out moments with people, we've had those crash out moments alone. So now we have to learn how to have this alone time, learn how to love on ourselves and gain emotional control throughout these periods where we feel like we're going to crash out. And we have to have a heightened self-awareness to know before we reach this crash out point, before we even get to a point where we feel like we're going to just let it all loose. There are no more boundaries. You're letting it go. So this is where this isolation part comes in at. If you are having body issues, you're looking to lose weight, or you're looking to gain more strength, this is how you go about redirecting that energy and at the same time helping yourself. But friend, now I get it's like, how does God come in with all of this? How is he involved? Because when we go through this relationship walk, this isn't a thing just as, this is what's going to help you think. This is what's going to help you be a better person. When you understand that life is going to be life and regardless. And sometimes, it's going to get hard. Stuff gets hard. But when you know you have a friend there to help you every step of the way, when you don't know where you're going, when you don't know what the answers are, when you feel like no one is going to love you, when you feel like no one is there, you have this friend, a constant friend in need that is there to let you know, no, I love you. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to show you this is how we're going to go about doing these things. Christ is not just the figment of your imagination, and it's not just a thing where rulers and people are doing whatever it is that they want to do because they feel like they have this type of privilege and they're using this illusion and this name of a thing when none of that is true. And to see that this is an inside thing, this is an inside beautification and a love that transform your entire being. And it first starts off with you allowing yourself to spend time alone with yourself and start having the hard talks. Why does this start having the hard talks with you? I'm so happy you asked me that. Because friend, we have to start learning how to tell ourselves the truth. a perfect example. If you just admit to like, look, I hate these heifers out here because yes, they rejected me, but low key, I ain't really respect them. And my breath was thinking, and my armpits might have could have been smelling better. And not to put self to blame, but we really have to start looking at how are we going about doing things as opposed to keep pointing the finger. So let's eliminate these things that we are people, whatever it is that we are attracted to, and let's actually look at how can I be more attractive? How can I be more loving? What is my purpose? Because baby, when you tap into that purpose, that's sexy. Boy, like dude be throwing his glasses. You seen how them just flew off my... Tap into your purpose. The more you tap into your purpose, you start to see self-control comes in, because your purpose is a discipline. Just like it takes to beat your face. Baby, the reason why I keep going into that face beating is because, and again, and I apologize, the face beating is a language in which they use, which I don't understand why, which is a language that they use to put makeup on their face. And right now, honey, I might have drew some of them brows in and put some mascara and was like, mwah, we gonna put some Vaseline lip gloss on. It took 5 seconds. But appreciating the beauty of makeup and just, you want to be secure with who you are even before you put any of that on. But still, in being an artist, I appreciate people who do the artistry on the face, because it is mind blowing. Like one day, I'm gonna do it. But still, that's neither here nor there, because I don't have a makeup page. So friend, this is a development and stuff that we are working on together. And so in this isolation time, use this isolation time to build. Use it to find out who you are, what your triggers are, and how you go about healing with these things alone. So I'm just going to slide on over here real quick. It's just going to be up in here just a little bit. And so in Psalms 119, it's one of the longest scriptures, longest in the book. It's like super duper long. But in 119:18, it is saying, open my eyes that I may see wonderful things in your law. Friend, I'm gonna be 100 with you. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. When I first read stuff like that, anytime it was mentioned as far as God laws, I immediately went to the 10 Commandments. And it was like, ew. But things were still revealed to me in that as well. But when you read the word of God, this is something to pray every single day. This is not a thing in which I prayed in 1969 and boy, I'm still receiving it now. I mean, which that stuff still operates like that, but it's a thing in which we are thanking for, on which we're asking for every single day. We're asking and seeking and knocking. This is a relationship. The reason why I'm stressing the point that this is a relationship, because people don't think Christ is real. They don't think that he existed. And I feel like it's a thing, if we believe that our ancestors taught, like this thing is so layered, and which I'm questioning, I'm looking into some things. And here it is, we're seeking the wisdom of our ancestors. And then on the flip side of this, it's the dead do not speak. And then it's like, if you're seeking your ancestors and the dead don't speak, then who the F is talking? I'm seriously asking this question and seeking information out with this. But at the same time, and looking at how, and then something just came to me as far as in dreams and stuff, but how Christ is the ultimate ancestor, especially if you do any type of dark magic, forbidden arts, and have worked in any type of anything with the blood. and you've researched Christ, and to see how God has that thing covered with relationship and with blood and this whole realm situation, and how all of this information covers in every single realm is mind-blowing. So I look at him as the ultimate ancestor because he died and resurrected and is still living, and has this connection. If you choose to, if you choose, he has this connection to us. That's why I often say the red phone, like the commissioner and Batman had, because it's an automatic line. Like nobody else is tapping into this line. It's doo-doo. And I mean, when you call, he answers. And I mean, that is like, I talk about it so much because I feel like, friend, this is something that I feel like you want to experience, because when stuff hits the fan, like, that's the main thing. Stuff is going to hit the fan. You're going to want to know what to do with your emotions. You're going to need help. You're going to need guidance. You're going to need it. You're going to need a friend. And there are going to be so many times that you're not going to want to talk to your closest friend. But when you have this close friend within, when you got that close friend up in you, boy, it's just, you don't even have to say a word and he hears your thoughts. And when you feel like you're doing wrong, that feels like, I don't want him to know my thoughts and everything that I'm doing. But it's one of those things, like, you don't have to get yourself cleaned up for him. You don't have to get right for him. He gets you right. He transforms you into this thing. Yeah, you may have all these feelings and maybe questioning and feeling like no one will love you. And it's some unbelievable stories as far as people getting married and people hooking up, and just in you looking at them physically, it's like, how could they ever? And I could never. And it's like, but that's proof and letting you know anything can happen. And don't worry about what's happening with them, because they living their life. Why aren't you? So, friend, we need to take us some time out. Take us some time out and spend some time with the Lord. God is love. He loves you. If you feeling like he doesn't love you, come on back, friend, because you done ran off somewhere and you feel like he don't. And it's, why you running? Why you running? There's no need for none of that hate or none of that, because once you come on into the fam, oh, honey, you'll be made desirable and attractive and sexy and all that good stuff. And once you sit that butt down and redirect that energy to relearning some things, to get some healing up in there, you're going to be sexy. You're going to be desirable. And you're going to be super attractive. I mean, he can show you better than I could tell you, because he's a transformational guy. But, it takes time. And you got to be willing to put the work in for your end of the relationship. Because this is what's going to help you for future relationships, for that thing that you actually want. And this is what's going to make you better and actually want to be kept. I love you guys. God loves you even more. Experience and find out why. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.